There is a very rarely spoken benefit of learning a new language, which is when you find a word that you know used in a different way in a different language. I'm going to give you 3 examples, and the third one is very weird. I would say even offensive, if you think about it. All right. So, for example, the word enojado. Enojado in Spanish means angry. For context, I'm a Brazilian living in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So when I say Spanish, I mean actually the Spanish spoken here, right? Which some people call Castellano. So enojado means angry. However, we have the same exact word in Brazil, which is enojado, but it means something else. It means disgusted. So I grew up using com raiva. Eu tô com muita raiva. I'm very angry. In Portuguese, to mean that. So, and also enojado, com nojo. Tô com nojo disso. To mean something else. But then when I learned that enojado means angry, I was like, oh, interesting. Now I can actually combine those 2 elements. And I'm not only angry, but I'm disgusted at the situation or with you, you know? So I have these 2 concepts merged together. So learning this new word, which is actually a word they already know, but now in a new context, expands the concept in my head. Another example, this one with Italian. There's this word in Portuguese, which is endossar. Endossar means to support, right? To endorse something. But it's a quite formal word that I almost never used, you know? And I hadn't grasped completely the meaning of the word up until the point in which I learned it in Italian. And indossare means to wear, to put on a shirt, for example. You put on a shirt, indossare. And then it connected to an expression that we have in Brazil, which is to put on the shirt. Botar a camisa, vestir a camisa. Vestir a camisa is the actual expression. And vestir a camisa means to support something completely, you know? For example, if you work for a company and then you, like, tu tem que vestir a camisa da empresa. You have to wear the shirt of the company, which means to support completely the company and to show the world that you belong to this community. And then I connected those 2 things. Oh, interesting. Indossare means to wear, and to wear the shirt means to support something completely, you know? So that word helped me expand the meaning of endossar, and it helped me start using that word because now I grasped in a concrete way what it meant. The third word is, I probably should make a full video about these kinds of words in Argentina, right? The word quilombo. Now, if you're Brazilian and you just heard that word, you know exactly what it means. It's a community of enslaved people that are escaping from their owners, usually in a forest, right? It's a village, it's a community of enslaved people that are trying to escape, or they have successfully done so. All right. However, when I got to Argentina, I was like, that's weird the way they use this word. It means mess here in Argentina. And for me, it struck me as racist. Of course it did. I didn't accuse anyone of that, but why are you using such a race-related word, which is part of the nature of enslaved people in South America, to talk about something so bad, which is mess? You can, like, let me give you an example of an application, like, mi cuarto está en quilombo, lo tengo que ordenar. So my room is a mess, I have to tidy it up, you know. And I use it. I'm not like the word police. I don't think anyone should stop using it because of this, you know. But it's fucked up for me, you know. And there are a few other words that I feel similarly about when it comes to race in Argentinian Spanish, right? But yeah, I hope that future generations will have a better word for that. There's another word that is lío. However, I hardly ever use that one. I'm going to start trying to use it more often. Lío. Like, it's a mess. I'm not sure if they are completely interchangeable, but I hope they are. So those are 3 different words. And in that third case, it did expand my understanding of the original concept by now having to imagine it as a messy place, which, to be honest, it possibly and probably was, right? Because it was a temporary living condition by people who had no condition and no standing in society. So consequently, it was quite messy. But the fact that this aspect survived, and yes, if you search for the definition of this word in Spanish, you're going to find that it comes from Brazil and it means that, right? It means that community of people. So those are a few comments on words and finding the same word in a different country and different languages. If you want to mention some more words, feel free to comment. See you in the next video.